And we're live.
Hey.
Oh,
Hey, happy fall, everybody!
yes.
Happy fall.
How was your guys' Halloweens? Did you get any cool trick-or-treaters or anything?
We got a Princess Peach. We got a Sasuke from Naruto. We
Ni-
got a Boba Fett.
Nice.
Um, Paul, wait, Paul, do you get trick-or-treaters?
No, and I've worked.
Oh, okay. Um, John, I'm curious, how many Squid Game costumes did you see?
Not a single one.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay. How many Plague Doctor costumes did you see?
One that kind of looked like it.
Okay, because I heard that was popular because I saw a couple and then I saw people online mentioning it, and it makes sense. Um,
Sure, yeah.
I was wondering if you saw any, but that's cool.
No,
Okay.
we mostly
I'm
got kids
on
in our area.
I'm honestly shocked about the Squid Game ones. I definitely saw Squid Game costumes for sure.
The oldest person we got at our door was like 14 or 15.
But I was thinking even like parents, because that's the ones I saw was parents were dressed up as Squid Game taking
There
their
were
kids.
no parents dressed up.
Wow.
I don't think any of the parents that showed up were dressed up. Which was funny because I was dressed up giving out the candy, so I looked a little out of place when like everyone else was showing up. But it was cold. We had gotten snow yet the day before, so most people were in their jacket.
Yeah, I guess the difference down here is like, because yeah, up there with you guys, when you're making a Halloween costume, you need to figure out how to put a jacket underneath all that. You need to like make it a couple sizes too large because you got to wear boots and stuff. Down here, kids are just dressing up as whatever they want, no sweater, no insulation whatsoever. Um, so I guess parents could dress up as well and don't have to worry about making sure they can fit a jacket underneath this costume and getting uncomfortable and whatnot. Um, you said you dressed up. What did you dress up as?
I dressed up as Weird Al.
Oh, I did see the Twitter picture. That's right. Did
Yeah.
anyone get that?
No.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you only got kids, I can't see a lot of them being like,
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
my favorite musical artist.
Yeah, and I dressed like his old version too, like with the glasses and everything. So like, because he switched to like no glasses and changed his hairstyle in like the '90s. So I'm just like, oh yeah, they'll definitely recognize this '80s Weird Al take.
Okay. Okay. Did Reese dress up too?
No.
Okay.
She originally said that she was going to, but then she wasn't feeling well, so she just kind of stayed away, and I did all the giving out the candy.
Okay.
Originally she was gonna dress as Rosa John. She was gonna borrow the costume parts I had. So
Yes, another costume that all the kids would have understood and
oh
gotten
yeah,
the in
totally,
joke.
completely,
Yeah.
completely.
That's my favorite YouTuber. Okay. Did you just hand them the candy? I was seeing a lot of people online making like these cool slides for candy so that they
Oh,
didn't
that
get close
sounds
to
neat.
people.
I kind of wish I had done that. That sounds cool. No, I
Yeah.
just handed them like a normal person.
Yeah. No, I didn't see any in person, but I do like that as like a, hey, we're still kind of in a pandemic, so I made this slide so we don't get near each other kind of thing. Yeah. I did go to my usual trick or treat area to like, observe and look at the decorations. There definitely was not as many decorations as normal years, but
Mm.
last year when there was zero, it had definitely grown a bit since then. So here's hoping it keeps growing back to what it used to be
Someday.
someday. Yeah. Anything else exciting happened with you guys in the last week?
Not
Show of
really,
hands,
no.
we'll go around the digital room here. Who in the last week witnessed the police break into their neighbor's door down? Just
No.
me?
I'm kidding.
Oh, you.
No, yeah, I think it was just you. It's just you.
um, one of the units in the apartment complex doesn't have anyone in there, and I watched a homeless man pry the window open and climb in.
Ah.
Um, which me and
Ah.
some neighbors called the police.
Yeah.
Um, and so the police came, tried to tell the guy to come outside. They kept saying like, "Yo, we got the dog. The dog's gonna bite you." They didn't have a dog.
Yeah.
There was no dog. I kind of wanted to see the dog in action, but there was no dog. I didn't even hear a dog barking from the car or anything like that. They were lying about the dog.
Sure. Yeah.
But then they brought out the little hand. It's only got to have been maybe 3 feet long at most, probably closer to 2 feet. 2 hits, door went flying off through the thing.
Nice.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
I'd never seen one of those before, and yeah, they arrested the dude. He was just trying to squat there. That
Yeah.
was an eventful afternoon when I was watching that.
It sounds like.
Nice.
Yeah, so you know, easy transition. This is the top down perspective.
Ah, yeah, it's the easiest of them.
Yep, November 4th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
Paul, I want to ask you. You seem like you had the most exciting week in terms of video games.
Okay.
So, what have you been playing?
Ooh.
I bought a VR headset this week.
Which one did you get?
I got the Oculus Quest 2. I wasn't into the idea of getting one for a long time. Resident Evil 4 came out. I was like, that looks kind of neat. I'll give it a few days. Saw like some people in the communities I hang out with talking about it, and they're like, this is like easily one of like the best VR experiences and stuff like that. I was like, okay. Usually FOMO for me goes away within a day or two. Like, it's not too bad. So I was like, okay, I'll wait for a few days. The 28th was Facebook's big like press conference thing.
So you were so invested in the metaverse that you're like, I gotta get in on these VR headsets now.
No, I was invested in maybe there's a better one coming soon that I could wait for. And when they didn't announce anything, and in fact announced the opposite, where they're like, yeah, we're actually breaking the Oculus and Facebook brand apart from each other. And at some point there's saying you're probably not even going to need a Facebook account anymore because it's going to be Meta now and all this other crap. So I was like, oh, okay. Not only is there not a new headset, but they're actually going to take away this stuff. Yeah, sure. I'll get one now.
Oh, okay. So you don't need a Facebook account now for Oculus?
They haven't implemented that yet, but they're...
I mean, okay,
they say
to be
they're
fair,
going to.
Zuckerberg, Paul's new best friend, basically said that they're working on removing that requirement.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, you're probably going to need a Meta account to do it.
Could be.
Which is going to be part Facebook. So there's no way you're going to get divorced completely from Zuckerberg's pocket. He's still going to got you. He's going to get his hands all over you.
You might not need it to like actually do stuff though, is the big thing. Because
I mean, I just don't want to tie it to my actual Facebook account. I would make my own account just for the Oculus, I guess. And if that's an option, I'll just do that.
You can make an Oculus account, but I don't know if it like restricts you on certain things you can do, which it probably.
Well, I don't know. I don't even know if you could make an Oculus account because they're getting rid of the name Oculus now.
I don't know. All I know is that when it says you need to sign in with something, do you want to sign in with Facebook or an Oculus account?
Well, I know going forward, they're going to be removing the name from Oculus, even from the headsets. They're not going to be called Oculus Quest anymore. It's going to be like
whatever,
either the Quest 2 or Quest Pro or the Meta Quest. Like they're getting rid of the name Oculus altogether, which kind of sucks. I kind of liked that name.
It's a good name.
Yeah,
good branding. Anyways, I got one of those. It was the path of least resistance for a lot of things, including just setup. Also, it's the cheapest. It's cheaper than an OLED Switch. So there's that.
I would not compare those two things at all. What?
Well, I mean, it's like cheaper than a console now. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'll pick that up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you meant in terms of the VR space, this is cheaper than the OLED Switch. If you hold it right up to your eyes.
The Switch being the cheapest console you could buy.
Put it in the Labo, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The two VR options.
Yeah. It's cheaper than the cheapest console is what I was getting at. So, yeah, I bought that. The first night I just kind of did random stuff that was packed in with it. Beat Saber, super hot demo. Then I tried the connection, the Steam Link connection stuff for Steam VR stuff. So I tried Payday 2 for a little bit in VR, and that is janky even for Payday standards. Holy shit, that plays weird because you use like the buttons like X and A and Y and B to like turn your character rather than just like
and I'm assuming they turn like 90 degrees kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
So is this your first VR experience?
Like an actual VR set, yes, where I played more than like a couple minutes.
You're gonna have to get used to all these kind of new locomotion things and new terminology. They even said it in the Zuckerberg presentation. Presence is a whole thing. Can I give you some VR recommendations of games to check out?
No, you can't.
Okay.
No,
all right.
No, go ahead. I'm kidding. Oh, but
Moss?
there is a problem where a lot of the stuff for PSVR I just can't play because it's not that. So
Right. So I mean, you can't do Astrobot, which is
that's the one I actually was like looking into. Is there a good emulator that I could just like get this running with somehow? And the answer is no, currently.
okay. I have no idea.
Yeah. Moss is on my list.
Moss came to Steam, I believe. And Rec Room.
Yeah, Rec Room's free. So I've already
Rec Room
downloaded
is
it. I
free,
just haven't
and
done
that's going to
anything.
be like the most like this is what chat rooms are these days.
Well,
So
I
now
also
I'm in
downloaded
VR.
VR chat, but I'm a little afraid to go in that right now.
I haven't done VR chat,
Yeah.
so I don't know how different it is, but Rec Room at least has like activities and like games you can go on
Okay.
and hey, do you guys want to do a, fake Dungeons and Dragons kind of thing? But I'm assuming they're quite similar in terms of we're just going to chat around and throw water bottles at each other, so.
Yeah. VR chat, from what I've heard or seen little bits and pieces of, scares me a little bit, but we'll see. I have Rec Room downloaded. I just haven't done anything with it yet.
I mean, hey, it's like being a kid on the internet again. This is a whole brand new way to interact with perverts.
Yeah, that's the that's honestly the kind of the scary part. It's kind of the scary part. Yeah, but overall that stuff was fun. The big thing is that I bought Resident Evil 4 VR because of course I did. Like instantly and installed it.
I did hear they did a really good job with this.
It's fucking
Was this
fantastic.
Quest only, or what's the lock on this one?
It's Quest only.
Okay.
Yeah. That being said, you could probably play it on the Rift with like some store stuff or whatever, I assume, but I don't actually know, honestly.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I've been on the fence about getting a VR headset for years, and I'm just trying to figure out what is even the recommended one anymore.
I feel like most of the time I'm hearing stuff, it's the Quest is kind of the forefront one. It's not the like highest end one, but even the Quest has the like tethered not even like you don't even need the cable. It can like connect to your computer wirelessly and
now.
get more power that way as well. But what I've been hearing is the Quest is just sold so much better. It's kind of like the primary development platform. There's also the fact that Facebook has kind of bought up a lot of the big VR developers in the space anyways.
Yeah.
So like, the developers behind Beat Saber, for example. So a lot of the like heavy hitters are going to be exclusive to Oculus platforms.
Yeah. From the research and kind of looking up stuff I did, it's between the Quest 2 and the Index. The Index, if you have the money for it and you really want just like the best quality vision stuff specifically, you probably want that one. If you just want like an easy all around good value, you want the Quest because it's just cheap.
But isn't the Index like $800 or something? Like,
oh, it's like 1,400 Canadian. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, like the price jump is quite a bit. So I feel like if you're not like diehard into VR, the Quest is the way to go because it is.
Yeah.
It's like the second step, like the number 2 top one, but the price is like a quarter of it.
Yeah. It would have been $1,000 more to get the Index.
Jesus,
that's not worth just like I'm gonna try this out and see if I'm into it. And that's the kind of thing with me is like, the Quest sounds great. I love that I don't have to attach it to anything because the only reason I don't use my PSVR that much is it's kind of a lot to set up for. I don't know. I'll play for an hour this evening, and then I have to like move my tables around and whatnot.
Sure.
It's like this is not worth me. I'll just sit down and play my Xbox. It's so much easier.
Sure.
And so that keeps me from doing the Quest because it's like I already don't use the VR headset I have that much. I'm not buying another one.
Sure. Yeah. No, makes sense. It is very good for getting into just VR though. The Quest. There's a reason I think why people recommend it. First of all, the fact that Facebook is, I'm sure, taking a loss on headsets at that price is good for everybody. The Facebook account thing does kind of suck, but that's solid hardware they give you. The biggest problem with it is that the base model comes with like a strap that sucks, and I didn't think that would
like
be
a
as
head strap is what you're talking about.
Head strap, yeah. I didn't think that would be as problematic as it was until I played a couple hours straight, and my neck was sore after.
That's what, like, I mean, there are like comfort head straps or like
Yeah.
extra head straps you can get and whatnot. I'm sure there's like a tons of articles out there of like, here's like the best kind of bundle that you should
Well,
buy for yourself.
they sell a good one, like an elite version or whatever, with the proper like cradle for the back of your head, and it balances it out and stuff. And it's like $80. So it's a little pricey, and I wanted to see how bad it was. I would say now, after playing for a few hours, it's worth getting. Like, if you're gonna get one,
I mean,
maybe just get
that's
it.
the other thing though, is like, I can't. Some people can't do VR for like multiple hours at once. They need a break.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you that's another thing you have to kind of figure out yourself, right?
Yeah, I found that out myself because I've been playing pretty hard, and I am definitely in VR sickness mode right now. I need to just not play for a few days. As it stands right now, it's hard to concentrate on any one point, and reading is hard right now, and like everything's a little fuzzy.
You're saying after playing the headset, when you exited it, you still have eye problems?
Eye strain, yeah. If you've ever strained your eyes, that feeling where they are like just tired and it's hard to like really focus on something. It takes effort to focus on something. That.
Oh, believe me, I know all about eye problems. So,
Sure.
and I mean, like for John, this might be perfect. He's already got glasses, right? Can't get much worse. He's not gonna have to wear two pairs of glasses.
Thanks, Sean.
Sure. Yeah, so I'm gonna get back into it, taking it a little slowly as well. Also, just the moving without inertia in your body destroyed my brain, essentially. Like, it made me feel so sick afterwards. I get seasick and motion
and that's
sick
the locomotion
easy.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. The teleporting options for games is okay, but like it makes the gameplay just kind of a little crappier than if you were going full motion. The full motion makes me kind of sick though, so I'm gonna slowly just. Apparently, if you just slowly play it like a few minutes at a time and get used to it, your brain will kind of wire itself so that it's not a problem eventually.
Well, I feel like most games at this point have multiple options
They
for
do.
how would you like to move around the space, and you can choose, do you want to teleport, do you want to actually move, and so you can kind of pick what's best for you.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. So that has all been interesting, but I got to get into Resident Evil 4 VR because it takes one of my lesser liked games of that series. This is easily like one of the best games in the series in VR. The changes they've made to it are substantial. Mainly because the thing I don't like in that game in general is I don't like going into a room and having to shoot 20 dudes while standing still, and every now and then running because a little bit because somebody will come up behind you or whatever. Like, the combat in that game feels kind of shitty, and I've never really liked it, but I kind of like, when it was a new game, I kind of just overlooked it to like see the different set pieces and stuff like that. In VR, you are constantly being able to move and aim and shoot as you would assume, because you're in that space or whatever, or that's the theory. So you can move while aiming and shooting dudes, which means you can actually like stun them, walk up to them, and then do like your different like kicks and punches and stuff like that to knock them down. It just makes combat go from feeling like kind of a shitty chore you have to do to beat the game to actually the part you want to do, because it's like super fun. And that change alone is like huge. That's that's why it's a little annoying that I keep feeling so sick from playing bits and pieces of it, because I want to do the like smooth FPS movement or the immersion movement or whatever they call it, or because that's more seamless and like you're doing actiony things, so you want it to be more actiony rather than teleporting. But the teleporting is the way I felt like I'm not gonna throw up or fall if I'm
Most comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do the thing where every day for like 5 to 15 minutes you just like play a game for a bit, then turn it off and kind of get your brain used to like it's okay to move and not be moving with, or like train your inner ear or something, whatever. does it. But yeah, that game is definitely that old game redone in VR from the ground up. A lot of cool little options, like when you're playing around with your inventory, you're actually like moving stuff in a suitcase. When you're going to the shopkeeper or whatever, the shopkeeper, you're putting stuff from your case onto like a table for selling and like buying stuff from him by putting it in your case. And like you have like a jewel case for all your different your gems and stuff that you collect and your treasures, which is cool. The fact that you like actually can pick up and look at all the items in the game in full HD like you're holding it, it's like just super cool. Everything about that game is amazing. And like the people that are saying finally there's a reason to own VR, like if you're into Resident Evil, this is definitely it for sure. It's so good. I can't stop talking highly about it. It's very good.
Can you
Right
play
on.
Half-Life Alyx with the thing that you've got?
I can. I wish
That's
there
another
was.
one I've heard the exact same thing said about. So that's why I'm wondering if you're ever going to be able to contrast the two.
I'm gonna try to wait for like a sale or something. The nice thing about Steam, obviously, is that they put their stuff on sale, which I don't know how Oculus is about sales yet. I will say I bought Resident Evil 4 through the Oculus. The Steam stuff is a little bit janky to set up at first. So this would be also the good thing if you get an index, is that just works out of the box right away. With Oculus, you have to go through, you have to link it, or specifically with the Quest, to your computer using their app called Oculus Link. And then from there, you can use that app to load up the Steam VR app, and then you can do stuff through it, which makes some things a little janky at first, but everything I tried on it worked fine after like sorting itself out eventually. So I will be trying Alyx at some point for sure. That's
Okay.
that's one of the other things I definitely wanted to get to.
Have you tried the like wireless tether to get bonus power into the Quest?
No, I haven't tried that.
Okay.
I've done the wireless tether to just connect to my computer and do stuff, but I haven't like gone full into that. I just tried that the other day.
Okay. I would be curious to know if you play a game and you kind of do it before and after, and if you actually like can see the difference, or if you get like more options for
Sure.
FPS or something, like kind of how it manifests.
I will say that they say you have about 2.5 hours worth of playtime. I think that's a little bit generous. I think there's about 2.5 to 3 hours if you are watching like YouTube videos or just kind of chilling in VR spaces.
You know, VR porn. Yeah.
Yeah, VR porn. Haven't gotten there yet. Hopefully, never.
Like I believe that. Not.
Yeah.
First thing right out of the box. Got to break it in, if you know what I'm saying.
Gross. But playing Resident Evil, it started dying after 2 hours. Like 2.5 hours is maybe a little generous. I think you got 2 hours of like full play if you're playing a game hard. Which is also another thing I want to get like an external battery pack. There's one that people recommend that adds about 6 to 8 hours worth of playtime. And
you can't even survive that long with your like queasiness.
Right, but for travel, right? Like that's the whole point of this thing, is that
Okay.
you don't have to use a computer with it. And this battery pack also kind of like straps in onto the back of your strap and acts as a counterweight as well, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking into that. It's also the price of just the Oculus strap upgrade without a battery pack. It's cheaper. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it would be kind of cool. I have a baseline for how much power it has. I will try this tethering thing that you're talking about and report back at some point.
Cool.
Other than that, Diablo Immortal closed beta. It's happening in Australia and Canada right now. So I jumped into that because the eye strain from VR wasn't enough. Got to play a giant game on my phone. That game
I've heard this is really good.
That game is fucking fantastic. It's really good.
Yeah. This is the mobile Diablo, for those who don't remember.
Yeah. That is a full Diablo game. There's no cut corners. They have like the rifts, the different dungeons. It's kind of a giant open world where you can see other people at any times if they're in the area based on your server. You can jump into dungeons with a group to do like those parts. So it is more MMO feeling than ever before. It controls and plays exactly like a Diablo game should. I think the thing I was most impressed by is that I was able to hook up a controller to it through Bluetooth, and not only did it work completely flawlessly, but it had full button remapping for whatever button combinations of stuff I wanted. It had on the screen display of which buttons did which abilities, and it had a perfect one-to-one of the on-screen like D-pad to my analog stick, so there was no lag at all. It was like the best implementation I think I've ever seen of a mobile game with a controller just right out of the box, and I was super impressed. It felt really, really good to play. It felt so good to play that I killed my battery plane and had to plug in this weird, awkward like thing where I was holding it over here near the charger.
Sure.
Yeah, that game is super good. It's super good. I will say it made me look at my phone and just be like, oh yeah, this is an old phone. I might have to upgrade this thing because my phone cannot do this game in anything higher than medium. The game just says your phone can't handle this. Like, it doesn't do anything. So I don't know what high and ultra look like. Medium looked fine. It looked like a mobile game. And I wasn't able to change something else as well.
It's definitely interesting when mobile games started having like specs and performance settings.
Yeah. I think for this one, it just straight up says if you have an iOS device older than the iPhone 5, just don't bother. Like, it's not going to run, period.
Yeah,
So
I
guess that makes sense.
That would probably be hard to even still have at this point. I would assume your battery lasts 15 minutes on Twitter.
Yeah, probably. And you need, I can't remember what the specs were for Android, but it's also like, my phone is definitely feeling old on this game, and it's only like 5 years old, but for people that like play mobile games and stuff, I'm sure
that's like old in phone terms, you know what I mean?
I mean, not really, because it makes calls, which is what a phone does.
Which most people don't use phones for anymore.
I was gonna say, I barely. That's like the least thing I use my phone for.
Yeah.
And soon enough, it'll be like the least thing you use yours because you're gonna be 99% Diablo Immortal.
You're gonna be in the metaverse the entire time.
Also in the metaverse. Well, I mean, one day we're all gonna be in the metaverse, and we're not even gonna know it.
Yeah. Maybe we already are. This is in the past.
Ooh.
God damn it. I hate it when that happens. Yeah, anyways, I was a non-believer about Diablo Immortal, and I was just like, yeah, we'll see how it is when it comes out. It's really good. It is very, very good. If you're a Diablo fan, it should be on your list of things to pick up when it comes out.
Seems like a week of reckoning for you. You're a believer in Diablo Immortal. You're a believer in VR. It's a whole new world for you out there.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I was ever a not believer in VR, but there's two things that I think, well, I don't even know that. There's one thing that is very, very good in VR, and Alex apparently is the other thing, but I can't say that for myself yet. Oh, Superhot's fucking great in VR, by the way. Like, I kind of glossed past it, but that's a completely different experience that's hard to describe unless you've actually done it. It's weird.
I feel like that's like a lot of VR things. It's hard to describe unless you like did it.
Yeah. Oh, right, and No Man's Sky, I did. That made me actually want to throw up because you have a jetpack and you can like fly up and down in it, and that was hard. That was hard.
Honestly, what you should do, and obviously you should stream this, is there are just like shovelware on Steam.
I've already played.
We're gonna make you sick.
Oh yeah, no, didn't play any of those. I played one that was just like a zombie shooter.
You should play those and see like how long. I think there's even ones that are just like how long can you last, and they're just gonna like fuck with you in VR.
Okay. Oh yeah, no, I won't. I'm the type of person that if I'm not sitting in the front seat of a car ride that's like over an hour, I will get out and throw up because I got dizzy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I get motion sick pretty easy. So those actually sound like a nightmare. Those sound terrible. Oh, and Beat Saber is great too. You don't need
It's
me
fun.
to tell you that. Like
Yep.
everybody knows that by that point. Yeah, Diablo Immortal. People should check that out when that comes out. That's all I've been playing.
John,
You know,
how's your week in games been?
it's been all right. Still playing Hollow Knight. Still kind of dragging on, but I'm almost done. I'm story beat wise. I think I'm at the last story beat. I don't know if there's any other areas I can go to. So I did the 3 mask thing. I just finished the 3rd one, and I've done everything else DLC thing that I care to do. So I think it's just going to that one spot and then whatever unlocks after that. Which I think there's supposed to be one final zone there or something like that.
Nice.
Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Mario Party Superstars. So this came out on Friday. Right. This is another attempt at a greatest hits style Mario Party game, and this time I think they actually succeeded because it is actually a Mario Party game, unlike Mario Party Top 100, which was just the mini games, or Super Mario Party, which was sort of like it but had really limited options. This one's been genuinely fun. It has online's been pretty good. It actually saves your progress in case anything happens and you disconnect. It's been pretty good for that. Still weird quirks here and there, but it is a Mario Party game. There's mostly good games chosen, some weird ones. But all the games I've played online so far have been pretty smooth, very little lag. We've only had 1 disconnect so far, and it was pretty easy to get back to the game when that happened too.
Cool.
At this point, with like the Switch, what's the Mario Party to get? This or
this? 100%.
Was it Super Mario Party? Was the last one?
Super Mario Party uses only the Joy-Cons, which means because there's a bunch of motion control stuff. Which means if you have a light, you can't even play it.
Right.
But this one just uses buttons, so you can use Pro controllers, you can use Joy-Cons, you can use whatever. You can use the Switch Lite. So I would argue already there it's the better option. Plus the netcode is better in Super Mario Party. If you disconnect, that's it. The game's gone. In this one, straight up, you can rejoin, and an AI takes over for you while you're gone, and it will save your progress if you just want to restart things. And
that's pretty great. That's pretty like modern day.
It actually has modern day quality of life, which is already kind of why it's pretty good.
Yeah, I am honestly shocked Nintendo implemented that in
Me too, to be honest.
That's incredible. So
the gameplay balance is a little wonky compared to other Mario Party games. Like, you get coins way easier in this one. Items are really cheap, and not all the items came back. Like, or they're really rare now. Like the Boo Bell is a rare item. The Plunder Chest is a rare item. But Magic Lamp equipments, which are the gold pipes, are pretty cheap, pretty easy to get after the halfway point of the game. Double and triple dice are super cheap. Like, if you're in a Mario Party, it may seem a little unbalanced, but it seems to be more geared towards aggression because they give you so much money to start using boos. They give you so much money to start using items. Like, it gets hectic, and I've enjoyed it a lot so far.
Cool.
In Mario Party 3, when you used, there was this one item that I think it would bring you to the star, where
it's a magic lamp.
Toad genie.
Yeah, the genie of the lamp.
Has he ever shown up again?
He shows up in 2 and 3, and then I think 4, and maybe 5. He's in a couple, and then stopped showing up after a while.
Yeah, because he was like a giant-sized toad character. Like, what's his deal? That's what I want to know.
He's just a genie.
He seems like someone that would show up in like one of the Paper Marios.
You'd think, but no.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yep. If you like classic Mario Party, 100% recommend it. If you don't like classic Mario Party, hard recommendation. But I feel like at this point, if you didn't know if you like Mario Party or not, you probably knew that.
Or you're 6. And in which case, you're probably getting this anyways because it says Mario. So.
Yeah, also that. Yep. Yeah, that's all I've been playing.
I've had a great video game week. Everything I've been playing, absolute banger. So I played and it's brought to you by free to play games and Game Pass. So that's 2021 in video games, as far as I'm concerned. The Forgotten City, was added to Game Pass, and that game is so good. Like, if you don't know, it was started as a Skyrim mod that they spun out into a full-fledged game. But you can definitely still kind of tell visually and how it kind of feels like, oh yeah, this was Skyrim at one point or another. You get a bow at one point. It's like, I see. Okay, yep. It's pretty crazy that this came out at like the exact same time as 12 minutes, because this is also a time loop game where you are trying to figure out what is going on in the environment you're in. How can you affect the environment by talking to people, by doing different specific actions and whatnot. And whereas 12 minutes kind of completely falls on its face, this just like soars. Like, this does everything right. Basically everything you probably wanted in 12 minutes, other than like a rewind mechanic. Well, that's the thing. 12 minutes, everyone wanted a rewind mechanic because of how like stiff its mechanics were and how you would go through it. This one, it like they smoothed everything out, where you'll start the loop over, and instead of having to like talk your way through it, you can just tell like one person, hey, I need you to go do these 4 things because I need to get to that state of this world in like 5 seconds. And the good dude's like, done, I'll do it. Like, you can basically skip to what you need to do. Like, honestly, if 12 minutes disappointed you, but you liked the idea of the time loop going through all that, you gotta play Forgotten City, because it is great. It goes to some just incredibly bizarre places, but that's what makes the story so engaging, and I was hooked the entire time. It's like a 6-hour game, so I can't recommend it enough. On top of that, another Game Pass title, Unpacking. This is like cozy game of the year. This is the game for fall, the game for winter. If it's raining out, if there's a blizzard outside and you're indoors, nice and warm, you should be playing Unpacking, because this is like the chillest game, and in all the right ways. So visually, you're kind of just looking at like an isometric perspective of different rooms. And all you do is you're unpacking boxes. That's all you do. You go to one room, you go to the other one. You're not actually interacting as like a person walking around. You're just, as a mouse cursor, open the box, click the box, and then you'll have an item that needs to be put somewhere in the room, whether it's like books or the laptop or a stuffed animal, stuff like that. What's really interesting about it is, based on what the items that you're getting to put away, you're kind of figuring out who this person is that you're kind of embodying. And you're getting to see different stages of this young woman's life. Like, you see her as a kid, you see her when she moves into her first dorm room, her first apartment, when she moves in with her first boyfriend. It's kind of like all like the major moves someone would have. You're there unpacking the boxes and kind of learning what's been going on with this person's life, like where they are in terms of like their schooling or their job and stuff like that. So it's really clever in how it's telling its story with like very little actual narrative involved. And on top of that, like you're learning about the people in her life through the items that are packed up. And it's also like this kind of nice self-reflecting thing of like, oh, where would I store this? Because there's a very light puzzle mechanic to this game, where once you've finished unpacking all the boxes, it'll highlight the ones that are in the wrong spot. And I'll spoil like one tiny thing. It's in the very first. I don't even want to call it a puzzle, because like it's so hard to screw these up. There's one that is you basically realize, oh, this isn't a book, it's a diary, and you can only put it in one or two places. You can't just put it on the shelves with the other book. It has to go. You have to hide it somewhere, basically, and that makes sense. It's a diary, stuff like that. So you have to figure out where these things go, and every now and then I would come across something where it's like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. And the art style is like this kind of high. I don't want to say high resolution pixel art. It's pixel art. It's minimalist, but you can definitely like tell what everything is. Like, this person has had like every Nintendo system, and you can sort of be like, this is a GameCube box. I can tell because it has like that upside down little semicircle at top, and this looks like this is Ocarina or Wind Waker. I can tell this is Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And what's great is, as you're going through each of these points in their life, and they'll be like, this is 2007, 2010. The main character, she like moves from a Game Boy to a Game Boy Advance, and then to like a DS, and you're putting the DS cases away and stuff like that. And so it's all timed appropriately and whatnot. And it's just like, it is just such a cozy, warm game. Like, I cannot recommend it enough. It takes maybe 2 hours to play through the whole thing. But I think it's definitely worth it. And I will just say, for those who might be a little apprehensive in playing it, it definitely kind of has the air of like, oh, there's going to be like a very melancholy or depressing turn in this person's life. I can just feel it.
Sure.
That doesn't happen.
Okay.
It is heartwarming the whole way through. So you know, I don't want to like get people thinking like, oh crap, I don't want to keep doing this because this character is clearly going to like get sick or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it definitely feels like that's definitely what could have happened. That's not what happened.
Like the last act is packing up their stuff because they died horribly. Like, yeah.
I will just say this game is heartwarming the whole way through.
Okay.
So it is definitely a feel good game. There's a really like, there's a tweet going around. I don't know if it's depressing or if I felt depressed reading it, but it's people replying to the picture of what is in the game a GameCube and them not knowing what the hell it is or where they're supposed to put it because
that sounds about right.
They're too young to know what a GameCube is.
Well, even if they weren't, a lot of people didn't buy a GameCube.
That made me feel old. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite Nintendo systems still.
Yeah, like I immediately was like, this is clearly like it has the handle on it, and there people are just like, what? They won't let me put this anywhere. It keeps saying it's in the wrong spot. What is this thing? The GameCube. Come on.
Wow.
Again, that's Unpacking. Can't recommend that enough. It's a really great 2 hours. They also, and I saw this going on Twitter, the developers were talking, they recorded different Foley sounds for every single item being placed onto a different surface.
Wow.
Jesus.
He said there's like 14,000 wave files for the Foley alone. So
Good
like if you're
Lord.
picking up like a glass and you put it on like a carpet, it'll make a carpet kind of sound. If you put a glass, you put it on a table, you hear the table sound. Like there's just a really nice level of detail to the audio design in this game. Like this is a cozy game. So if you have Game Pass, it's on PC, it's on Xbox. Definitely worth checking out. And the last game I'll talk about is Apex Legends. Had its new season start this last week. New map, new character. The new character is Ash, one of the bosses from Titanfall 2.
Okay.
Which is pretty enjoyable. They're pretty badass. They're a robot with a sword. The new map seems very cool. There's like these jump pads that launch you around. So you know, I still play a lot of Apex. If whatever reason you wanted to dive in, this season's a pretty good one because everything's kind of brand new. You don't have to be familiar with stuff. Just throwing that out there.
Cool.
And that's all I've been playing. So let's do some news. Devolver Digital went public this last week at a estimated value of $1 billion. Or a quarter of Marvel, as I like to put it. They also acquired a few additional devs. Dodge Roll, who did Enter the Gungeon.
I thought they owned them all. Okay, cool.
So keep in mind, like they just published, right?
Yeah, I guess.
So they also acquired Nerial Nerial, who does Reigns and the upcoming Card Shark.
Okay.
And Firefly Studios, which does the Stronghold games. So I'm a big fan of those first two. And there's a fun quote here. No specific plans for Enter the Gungeon 2, but rest assured we've asked them more than once. But hey, good for Devolver. Like they deserve all the success coming their way. I feel like every 4 months there's a huge like indie hit and it's a Devolver Digital joint. So
they definitely choose good stuff for their kind of brand that they've made.
They put out a great E3 press conference every year, and I appreciate that as a viewer. So
sure.
I need to play Inscription. I'm just going to put that at the end of this news story. Yeah. Activision Blizzard had like a earnings call this week, and they delayed Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2 into 2023.
Yes.
It's pretty far off. That's not even the next year if you weren't keeping track of what year it is. They basically said to make the game launch better, it makes sense. Part of me is wondering, like, is that did anyone maybe raise a hand saying no matter what or how good the game is, if we release either of these games anytime soon, we'll just get dogpiled on because of what's going on at the company?
Well, I don't think Diablo 4 was even close, like, at any point. That seems
Sure.
to have been a problem child for a while now. Overwatch 2, I feel like, for some reason, I feel like that was ready to go, like, a year ago, and they pushed it off for some reason. So, I don't, that
Well, they
one's
announced it in
interesting.
2019, I believe.
Yeah, and I
Or 20
remember them
yeah.
saying that, like, it was coming close or whatever, and, like, they were showing some stuff, it looked pretty polished. So,
Well, it
that
sounds
was,
like Overwatch 2 has had like a rocky development because they lost Jeff Kaplan, they lost the guy after Jeff Kaplan, and they keep saying like, "Oh
yeah,
no, it's still in good hands. It's still in good hands." And then they delay it like 2 years. So what did they mean earlier when it was still in good hands? Like,
right. Yeah, no, that's what I mean is that Overwatch 2 seemed like it was maybe getting ready, but apparently that was wrong.
yeah, weird. That's a weird company. I feel like
Yeah,
again, part of me thinks like they're trying to push it away from the current bad press cycle because there's no way their games would not get pulled into that. Then they're hoping maybe in 2 years things will have moved on or improved in some way.
yeah.
Blizzard needs some wins, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's something kind of tacked onto this with Blizzard where they had two co-leaders going on, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ibarra, and Jen O'Neill has actually left or stepped down as well.
Right. And I was seeing the headlines around that was their like first like female lead since everything had come out has
Left.
already stepped down.
Yes.
And with her departure, she doesn't say anything negative about it. She says she's just moving on to a role she's really interested in. I think it also has to do with like women in games, where she's moving to, but
Yeah.
we'll never know what is actually going on, if that's real, if there's anything behind that. That's just something we'll never find out.
Yeah. And I mean, it's
It
not
is
up
easy
to
to read
her.
into that.
It's not up to her to like stay and fix a bunch of white guys' problems either. If she gets a better opportunity, it makes sense to take it.
For sure, but
Yeah.
there's another way to read that of like, oh, maybe
They pushed her out.
she thought this was so messed up, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. We'll never know.
Yeah. I was thinking the more cynical they pushed her out of someone, but so
Could have been that too. Like there's a whole bunch of ways to read into it.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's not a great look.
Oh no, it's a fucking terrible look. So I hope
Not a
that
great look.
I hope that she got something just better, but never know.
Maybe this will change your mind. And Netflix now has games.
Hooray! They already
Diablo
kind of did, but
Immortal.
hooray!
Yeah.
Yeah, who doesn't like more games? So this is for Android only.
Okay.
But it's okay. I'm not sour about this because I don't really care.
Is it live right
These
now?
were we
Let me
talked
look
about
it
this
up.
earlier. They like soft launched this in Poland. Now it's over here. There are 5 games. It's both of those Stranger Things games. A game called Teeter, one called Shooting Hoops, and sorry, Teeter Up and Card Blast. Those last 3 are definitely mobile games. If you have an Android account and a Netflix subscription, you can play these games. They're like free downloads. They're not streamed.
Are they in Canada? Because I can't find them here.
I don't know. But my general guess would be Canada doesn't really get anything for the most part, so no. Unless it's the Diablo Immortal beta, I guess.
Bummer. I'll just play this fucking amazing game of one of my favorite franchises for a bit, I guess, instead.
While you cry that you can't play this Netflix game.
Well, I can't play Stranger's
Shooting
Thing.
Hoops.
Yeah, Shooting Hoops or Card Blast.
Well, actually, do a quick search on your like Google Play Store. Are those games just available outside of Netflix? Like, could you buy teeter up right now if you needed to play some of it.
Let me check. This is a TDP exclusive.
Yeah, you're not going to get this kind of coverage anywhere else.
Probably for good reason.
I was gonna say, I hope not.
Teeter Up is completely free. Yep.
So you don't even need the Netflix subscription.
It is. It shows Netflix as the developer or the people that are releasing it, but I can install it right now. Teeter Up.
There's your pro tip. We just saved you $8 a month, guys. Boom.
That's free. What about Card Blast, the one I actually want?
Well, don't tell them the answer for that one. Because if you want the answer for that one, you have to subscribe to patreon.com/topdownperspective.
Yeah.
Where we will let you know which of these games, the best way to get free games on the internet.
It's on there.
Is it free?
Yeah, it's the same. You can just install it.
And like, what is even the point? Like, seriously, what is the point?
I love it too, because on this tweet thread here, it says what the games are. It's like, here's how you can access them. Load up your Netflix app. Like all these steps. It's like, yeah, just go to Google Play and look up one of these stupid games. It's right there.
Hang on. Are they free because like your phone knows you have a Netflix subscription?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know.
Because like,
I better install one of them just in case.
Like when I search it up, I have on the browser, like it says install, but it says you don't have any devices.
Sure.
I don't know. Also, who cares? Who's gonna do this?
Totally. Yeah.
I guess kids might, right?
Well, I'm installing Card Blast right now. I'll tell you how it is.
Oh, to be honest, that looks like the worst of the 5, in my opinion. Teeter Up looked okay. That one actually looked pretty decent. And then the Stranger Things ones are obviously decent as well. Speaking of mobile games, Harry Potter Wizards Unite is closing down.
Good.
This is, if people remembered, it was the Harry Potter Niantic game. It'll be removed from the App Store on December 6th. It'll officially close on January 31st. For those keeping track, I uninstalled Pikmin Bloom yesterday.
It lasted, what, 2 days on your phone? 4?
Like 5 or 6.
I have breaking news from the Netflix games front. When you load up the game, it requires you to log in at on one of your so it knows I have Netflix. So it's like who's playing, and I can choose whichever profile. And your game progress, it says, is connected to your Netflix profile. So I think you might actually need Netflix for it to like.
So you do have to log in with your Netflix.
I think so. Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Okay. How sad are you that Wizards Unite is closing down?
Oh, who cares?
I don't know. Maybe John. John, do you care?
No. Reese played it for like a couple days, and that was it.
Yep, that's me too.
It seemed like one of the least interesting of those types of games.
You sure it wasn't the Minecraft one that is already gone?
The Minecraft one, I think they didn't reach what they wanted to. Like, I think that was supposed to be better, but no, that was probably worse.
Yeah, there's more of these than I like. I totally had forgotten about this game.
Sure.
Quick little hit. That Animal Crossing update went live last night.
Yeah.
For some reason. I played a very little bit to unlock Brewster.
Okay.
But this new story that I pulled was someone confirming that to IGN that new update is the final one. They're done. Doesn't that seem crazy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that game's what, a year old?
A little over a year old. Yep, this is it. I mean, when you compare it to how long did they support Mario Maker 2, it makes a lot of sense. But if you compare it to, there's a lot of games as services now. You would think they would just keep putting stuff into Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing is also the second best-selling like Switch game right now, which also makes this decision surprising.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a bummer, like, because they could have just kept adding new stuff in it. I guess like we're gonna have to wait until the next full installment for them to like, I don't know, reset the board and then slowly add the stuff in again, which also sucks to think about. But Nintendo doesn't really do games as a service when they definitely have some games that would benefit greatly from a games as a service. Um, just weird, just weird. This is the final update, and the Happy Home Paradise is part of their subscription thing, which is also weird. Just a lot of weird decisions. And then in Mario Party, they put fantastic multiplayer in there. What? What's going on over there? Monkey paw curls. That's what I'm telling you. That's what happened. It's like if you want good online service in Mario Party, then we're not going to support Animal Crossing ever again. That's what happened.
Okay with that.
I'm not. I would
I know you're
never
not.
trade a Mario Party for more Animal Crossing.
You would never trade a Mario Party for more Animal Crossing? Well, good to know.
Yeah, I would ask for the Animal Crossing.
He loves Mario Party that much.
He loves Mario Party so much.
PAX South is no more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Cutthroat, I'm seeing from the two of you. Basically, the statement put out was that unlike PAX West and East, PAX South was not growing at the same rate, and it was still pretty similar in size to when it first launched back in 2015. So that, along with COVID restrictions, they've decided not to continue having PAX South anymore. Which is crazy, because that means the PAX South that I went to was the final one.
Yep, true.
There you go. You killed it.
So yeah, that's why I went. I went there to
kill it.
Final nail in the coffin. I will say when I went there, it was definitely a lot smaller than what I was expecting. San Antonio was super awesome to walk around in. That was a cool town with like the whole river walk. So this is a bummer. This is definitely a bummer. I'm surprised it didn't grow more. But I'm glad I went to that last one.
It was just in a weird time of the year. Like no one was doing like new demos for games. East already kind of had that issue as it was, but it was just like a weird time. So it was great for hanging out, but it never grew to the size of any of the other PAXs.
Yeah, I mean, you say that that's an issue with East. East is the biggest one, isn't it?
East is currently the biggest one, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also because there's a lot of like Boston-based companies that go. Some companies will save stuff because it's like pre-E3 for them. It's just all in like one really good building. Like it's just a bunch of things they can do there.
I wonder if it's like the location, because like Austin is a pretty trendy city, and like that's where I flew to, but I still had to drive like an hour and a half out of Austin to get to San Antonio.
I heard that also messed things up.
Yeah, so if this was maybe in Austin, I bet it would have grown a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe because it was in a smaller town. It just made, the travel not work as well as, because I mean the other ones, they're not in small towns, they're in major cities. So go to San Antonio, you go to the tour about the Alamo. I did that. There's a good beer garden along the Riverwalk. Has posters of Dragon Ball Z in the bathroom.
Okay.
Nice.
Now you're talking.
There we go. Yeah. Amy Hennig, everyone's favorite developer who doesn't seem to get to make games anymore, is making a new game.
Okay.
She's with Skydance, and she's teamed up with Marvel to be making something in the Marvel IP.
Oh, we don't know what yet. Really?
She hasn't said what. She hasn't basically said anything, but she says that it's going to be like an action adventure game, the kind of stuff she likes. That's all we really know. It's the first project at Skydance New Media.
Okay.
Which is the studio.
Cool.
And when you click on the Skydance Twitter account, banner is about the Apple TV Plus show Foundation. So I don't know what that means at all. Cool.
I've heard I would
but
like
hey,
that
I'm
show.
glad she's making a game. Hopefully she actually gets to make it this time.
Yes.
I feel like the last 2 or 3 studios she's been at, she's announced we're working on something, and then the studio closes down, or she leaves for some reason. Marvel probably has the money to keep her going for the game, though, so we'll see. I would have said that about a Star Wars game, and we canceled Star Wars 1313.
Yeah.
And the last news story here, John mentioned a bit. We got some Nintendo sales numbers.
Okay.
Some kind of interesting stuff. I'll kind of highlight a few points I was seeing people pulling out of here. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has become the best-selling Mario Kart of all time. 38.74 million, which surpasses Mario Kart Wii of 37.38 million.
Sure.
Skyward Sword HD has sold 3.6 million units in its 77 days. The reason these came out is the financial year ended in September, by the way. The original sold 3.67 on the Wii.
Lifetime
to date. So it is, would that be 70,000 away from passing the lifetime of the Wii one?
I thought that was past it. Sorry.
3.6 versus 3.67.
Oh,
it's just about.
Then yeah, 70,000.
The Nintendo Switch has sold as of September 30th 92.87 million units, and the last fiscal year alone was 3.83 million units. One kind of interesting tidbit here, the total number of software units sold has surpassed 681 million, meaning a software tie ratio of 7.3. So basically means most Switch owners own at least 7 games.
Yeah, okay.
That must be quaint.
You don't need as many shelves. It's pretty nice. There's a whole bunch of other stats and data you can dig through. But the top selling games are Mario Kart, followed by Animal Crossing, followed by Smash, followed by Breath of the Wild, followed by a bunch of obviously first party Nintendo titles that you could probably easily guess.
Yeah.
But hey, you're not supporting Animal Crossing anymore, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
You needed to sell 4 more million. If it had passed Mario Kart, it might have got more.
Yeah, that's the problem right there. Why don't we do some questions?
And we're not doing that last one that's there?
Was there another one?
Oh yeah, what is this one?
Sorry, surprise bonus news story. Fortnite is shutting down in China.
Oh, okay.
I guess in China it was
source.
there as under a test. They were calling it, this is a test for Fortnite in China, and it was like a weird version of Fortnite where I'll kind of read the article here. The version of Fortnite available in China was quite different from the rest of the world. Matches were shorter, allowing for multiple players to claim a victory royale as long as they stayed alive.
Okay.
Other mechanics were changed to make the game more casual, like a separate health bar for damage from the storm.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not coming. Then I guess they're not going fully into it. You will no longer be able to register and download the game after November 1st, and the servers will shut down. I guess they were just like, this is not working well for us. You also couldn't, there was no in-app purchasing. You unlocked everything by playing the game. I don't know if the whole plan was to always keep it that way or that was just for the test, but there's a weird version of Fortnite in China, and it's not going to be there anymore.
Interesting. Okay.
Now let's do some questions.
Yeah.
Popdownperspective@gmail.com is the email address you can send a question in. You can also do @TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box.
Oh, yeah. We have episode titles. So I think this catches us up if the tweet is to be believed, which means we're going to start this off at September 9th, 2021 with Rewind Your Shirt.
I know what this is.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, Blockbuster shirt.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Came back. I had Blockbuster shirt. It was back from the last Blockbuster.
Contact Sean went to last Blockbuster, picked up things, including a shirt. John made this remark. Next week at September 16th, A Perfect Circle.
I said this something about Paul. I couldn't remember. It was a Venn diagram.
Yeah, okay. Oh my
Now I'm
god.
wondering if it was actually Paul or if I said something was a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
The Venn diagram of these two are a perfect circle. I can't remember what they are.
Yep, I remember the joke, but I don't remember the specifics of it now. Fuck. Ugh, what the hell happened that week? 16th of September.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
What was the message?
It was the perfect
A
circle. I said
perfect
something.
circle.
The
It was a Venn
diagram.
diagram. Yeah, you're right. It's a Venn diagram that you said Paul is that centerpiece of both, but I can't remember when in the world it was.
Yeah, it's something like that. I remember something like this, but I don't remember about what. I'm going to just give up on it. All right. Context is talking. Oh, yeah, we weren't going to get this probably. Talking about how the new Battlefield is being pushed back to the same day as Diamond Pearl remakes. When asked what the overlap between Pokemon and Battlefield fans are, Sean answered this.
Ah, okay.
I don't remember. I remember it now. I didn't remember that at all. September 23rd. A good night for technology.
I have no idea.
Was there even any event running?
Did something new get announced or whatever? Technology wise?
I was here for this, right?
Pretty sure.
September 23rd? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was like mid-October was the one I missed.
I don't know.
Oh, was this the one where the Discord, the OBS kept dying on us?
I don't know, maybe. Oh, so you're
like
thinking
restart like 3 times?
You're thinking it's like a sarcastic, like...
Yeah,
I mean,
like,
that
I don't think
makes
it's
sense.
a topic. I don't think it's
Okay.
a topic of conversation. I think this is when like everything was dying on us.
Okay, sure. Context was various technical issues. Yeah, it was that night. September 30th. The 4th anniversary is the Venom anniversary.
John just had his anniversary, right?
Yes, yeah.
That was around that date, isn't it, John?
Oh yeah, because what was the exact date? Because it was the 28th is our
The
anniversary.
30th,
The
so
episode
yeah.
is the 30th.
Yeah. So that would have been because Venom 2 would come out. You guys said, yeah, are you going to celebrate by going to watch Venom 2? There will be Carnage. It's
Sure.
the Venom anniversary.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think something like that. I think I made the joke that that's what the 4th one is or something like that.
Yeah. Context. When Sean asked what Paul got for John's 3rd wedding anniversary, he replied he watched the new Venom. Sean then cued him in on his mistake. Okay. October 7th. I thought Sora was in Smash already. This is obvious. I literally thought Sora was in Smash, but the news was that Sora got announced for Smash.
Yeah, I think Paul said this, yeah.
Context, Sora was revealed as the final Smash DLC. Yeah. Okay. 14th of October. Welcome to Pokemon, Paul.
I think I wasn't here for this.
Okay.
Clearly John said this then.
What was it? Welcome to Pokemon, Paul?
Yeah. I think I was saying something about how there was a giant argument about Pokemon in the Discord, and I didn't want to read it because I didn't understand any of what.
Oh
they were
yeah,
fucking saying.
that would definitely make me say that then. Yeah, 100%.
Context. Some details about BDSP came out. There was an argument in the Discord. Paul wanted to read it, but it was too much. John, welcome to the usual Pokemon discussion. Yeah. The 21st of October, the mustache cut of Uncharted. This is putting the mustache on Sully.
Yep, 100%.
Movie. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah, Wahlberg doesn't have it.
You were all
Then
upset
we
about...
riot.
Yeah, context. You were all upset about Mark Wahlberg not growing a mustache to play Sully in Uncharted so much that you demanded they digitally added in. I think Sean demanded it, but yes. And then finally, the 28th of October, pent-up Halloween aggression. Don't know what the fuck that is at all. That was last week.
We were,
Time
we
of
missed a
toilet
year.
papering because
Oh,
of just,
okay.
Yeah, we missed a year,
like
so
that.
everyone. Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha. Context. Sean was impressed by the number of trick-or-treaters John got. He grew worried since last year was more limited, so people might TP John's house or do something. All right. There we go. That's we're finally caught up. Thank you for sending those in.
Paul, this next one, you have the email open, right? Would it make sense for you to read this as well?
I have the email open, but I didn't look at the answers. I mean,
well,
I can.
what I'm saying is I don't have the email open. So would it make sense for you to look it up and then do the answers?
I mean, sure, it's in the doc. But yeah.
The answers are in the doc. I thought you said
No.
the answers are not.
The answers are not in the doc, so I can give the answers, but
Okay, sure. I'll read it and you can tell us the answers afterwards.
yeah.
Matthew writes, let's play a game about Kingdom Hearts naming convention and how horribly out of order it releases everything. I'm going to rename every game so that they're just numbers based on their chronological order. But like Nomura, I'm not going to be straightforward about it. Here are the rules. Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 will keep their original numbers. Any game that chronologically takes place between two previously released games gets the number halfway between them. So the first game released that took place between 1 and 2 becomes Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Any game that takes place before or after every known game just gets a solid number value. So Kingdom Hearts 0 is the first game released that took place before Kingdom Hearts 1. So try to figure out which game goes with which number.
This is so fucked.
Here are all the games in release order based on original Japanese release.
So, I mean, we can type right beside them. So 1 has to be
Okay.
1, right? Kingdom Hearts 1.
1 has to be 1, 2 has to be 2, and 3 has to be 3.
Okay, let me try and paint this word picture for our audio listeners and our video listeners. So we have a list of all the Kingdom Hearts, and it's basically like their subtitles, or they say 2, or so we have like Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories 2, coded, 358 over 2 days, yada yada yada. Then we have numeric values of -1, -0.5, 0, 0.51, 1.5, 1.75, 2, 2.5, 2.75, 3, and 4. So we have to put them in chronological order.
For the video watchers and stuff, I'm actually going to do a quick capture of what we're looking at.
Okay.
So people can see this fucking mess of
Okay.
garbage.
Was Memory of Melodies the most recent thing?
That's the
like
rhythm game, yeah.
Would that be 4?
That would be 4 because it takes place after 3, I believe. Because it has some segment with Kyrie for what happens after 3.
I remember that one because it's the newest. I don't think I've ever heard of Dark Road.
I don't know what Dark Road is either, but Key is -1. It should be anyways.
What's Key? Which one's Key?
X. That's
What?
the mobile game which took place with the 5 clans.
Excuse me?
Yeah, centuries before actual. See, I know the fucking plot of Kingdom Hearts and I hate it. Which is
So you're sitting here being like, "You fools! I know the answer like the back of my hand."
Not quite, because it's still Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so
Dark
you're
Road is a
saying
spin-off of X, so I have no idea where that fits in.
So X, you're saying X is the very first thing that happens in this universe?
X should be the first one, yeah. X should be -1.
You said Dark Road is a spin-off of X, so it
That's
should
what
be somewhere...
chat said. I've never heard of Dark Road.
Oh, you can't look at chat. That's cheating.
Okay, well, sorry. I still don't know what Dark Road is, so.
Dude.
Okay, well, we know that one. It's a spin-off of X. So let's assume it's -0.5 because it's got to be close, right?
Let's assume.
Okay, so that's where we'll put that one.
Which probably means 0 is birth by sleep.
Okay.
Borth.
Borth by sleep.
My game is also named Borth.
See, this is where it gets a little tricky.
So 0.2 birth by sleep. That to me, that would be the one. It would definitely be before 1 because it's a lower number than 1. Okay, that's the 3 and 3D doesn't have anything to do.
What the fuck is
it, right?
coded?
That's what I'm trying to remember what coded and recoded were.
There's a recoded. Why isn't that on this list?
Recoded, I think, is the re-release
Probably
that
re-release,
they did in the 2.8 or 2.5 collection. I I really don't know what fits in that 0.5. I know what should be in 1.5 and 1.75 though.
Okay, well, put them in there. Which ones are you thinking?
Where'd it go? 358 divided by 2 should be. Ooh, is that supposed to be 1.75 because it's so much closer to when 2 starts?
Oh my god.
What's the other one you're thinking of? Maybe I can help out.
Oh, the 0.5 is 0.2 birth by sleep
Yeah.
fragmentary passage.
That was going just by logic. I was gonna say, I'm guessing that's just the next one.
Yeah.
All right. As we do these, I'm gonna delete these so we don't get.
What do you mean
mixed
by
up.
logic? This could have been 0.
Well,
No.
no,
but
because
we-
0 would be birth by sleep, which is why
Okay,
it's
wait,
0.2
wait.
birth by sleep.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
saying process of elimination has to fit there.
Yes,
okay.
yes, yeah. I mean, there's no
We already
logic
have Dark
in
Road.
this.
Yeah.
Oh, we have Dark Road. Okay. Oh, and Kingdom
Dream
Hearts
drop
1.
distance happens before 3 because it's the training that Sora takes that ends at the beginning of 3.
Here's the easy thing. All of these take place before 3 because we know 3 and 4.
Yes. But no, I mean like literally it's like 2 weeks before 3.
Okay, so you think it's 2.75?
I think it's 2.75.
What could possibly happen within 2 weeks?
Chain of Memories happens after 1, so that means it's 1.5. Which would
Okay,
put
then
358 divided by 2 and
358 is the
1.75,
next
which would
one.
put coded in 2.5.
Okay.
All right. Are we locking this in before I look at the answers?
This seems to be the only one that makes sense. The only things that I
Yeah.
feel might be wrong is they might have the 2.5 and 7.5 might be swapped. That's about it.
So, let me tell you the ones I even know. I know Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, obviously. I know Memory of Melodies, and I've heard the name 358 divided by 2 days. No fucking idea what anything else is.
I mean, I feel like I've heard of most of these. I couldn't have told you that there was multiple birth by sleeps. I've never heard of Dark Road or Key.
Again, Key's a mobile game.
I probably wouldn't have remembered Coded, but I feel like I've heard the names of the other ones.
All right. Are we ready for some answers?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. -1 is X.
Okay.
Got it.
Negative 0.5 is Dark Road.
Okay.
0 is Birth by Sleep.
Okay.
0.2 is Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage.
I mean
Okay.
0.5.
Yeah, whatever. 1 is Kingdom Hearts. 1.5, Chain of Memories. 1.75, 358 divided by 2 days. 2 is 2. 2.5 is Coded. 2.75 is Dream Drop Distance. And then 3 is 3, and 4 is Memory of Melodies.
Way to go, John. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't think
there
we
you go.
helped much.
That's
so
all.
good.
That's all, John.
It's
Congrats
almost
on
like I
John.
played through most of these.
Yep.
I mean, whoever wins, we lose.
Dark Road was legitimately the only one. I'm like, where the fuck does that go? Because Coded was the one where they're in a computer, and Dream Drop Distance is the one that happens right before 3, storyline wise. And I'm still mad that the name 358 over 2 makes sense.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't like that.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. John, do you want to read this next one?
Sukusuki writes in and says, Blast from the past question. If Nintendo had their own achievement point system, what would you want the points to be called? I feel like they should have been coins, but they kind of already used those for like Club Nintendo.
Yeah, true.
Stars, maybe?
Stars.
Yeah, stars is good.
Would also work.
I think coins makes it seem too small and insignificant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sure. Actually, I really like stars. That's pretty good.
Okay, so Paul, I think you're next then.
Yep. Lineback writes, you are chosen to create a prequel to one of the games you've covered on TDP Plus. Which one do you choose?
I mean, it's definitely the Quiet Man, right? We need to know how he becomes deaf
Oh
or
my God, I
not
think
deaf
he's just
or whatever
born,
it
like-
was.
Yeah, it just shows him being born.
I mean, there has to be something involved with like wizards or crow magic What happens in that game again?
I actually don't remember a lot of it, to be honest with you.
Let's get that cookie clicker
The
prequel.
prequel?
There we go.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Wouldn't be bad. Yeah. I mean, Quiet Man's like the easy answer. It's like too easy to pick that one.
Sure.
Trying to think. We've covered like so much in TDP Plus.
I'm looking at a list of them right now. A prequel to Iconoclast would be kind of dope.
That'd be neat.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
A prequel to Sonic Adventure
2.
2.
Oh, fuck that. I was gonna say we did a Fire Emblem game. I'll just take another Fire Emblem game if that's how we get one made. Sure.
A prequel to Backbone could be cool if they did it right.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I could see that. That just came to Xbox Game Pass. Phantom Aegis writes, "What's your favorite Sonic tune with lyrics?" Sonic Underground theme song, for sure.
Okay.
City Escape.
Yeah.
That's the easy one, man.
Or if I have to pick one that's not that, Live and Learn. Or no, shoot. What's the Open Your Heart? Open Your Heart.
Okay.
As long as you don't say the
Sonic
pumpkin
Heroes
rap.
themes also.
I would say as long as you don't say the pumpkin rap.
No, I'm good. That's just a meme.
Paul, do you have a favorite one?
No.
You can just say the Sonic Underground theme song and share it with me. That's fine.
Okay. We'll share it.
BGC Kenny writes in and says, you get a letter in the mail. On the back, it's sealed with what looks like the Smash seal, but with a microphone logo instead of the Smash logo. You open it up and you find that a company is doing a Smash clone for podcasts and you've been invited. How would you like to be represented in Pod Smasher? Things like how many of you are playable, what would your stage be, what music, items, assist trophies, as well as anything else you can think of.
I feel like John's the only one that has like enough like
memes
in
and
jokes
shit.
where he could have different moves and transformations and stuff.
Fair enough.
I'm just a white dude.
Isn't that most podcasters?
That is true.
Yeah.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
It's a whole game of Echo Fighters.
There's a reason that a group of white dudes is called a podcast.
Yep.
I don't know. What would your stage be, John? You have like a location. It's part of one of your
probably The
lore
Office.
things?
It'd probably just be The Office. And then like obstacles or like weapons would be just like bookshelves. Just knock them over, set them up, and they just fall over when someone runs past them.
No,
Okay.
I see like a bunch of different, like it starts with like a video game level. I don't know, just something iconic. And then at some point a fortune cookie breaks across the screen and the level changes to something just completely different. Like
there you go.
It would just consistently
Kind of
change.
like the Game and Wario stages or whatever.
Kind of,
like
yeah.
It changes them up. Yeah, that's pretty good. You have an assist trophy? Is there some kind of like sidekick character or whatever?
Bagel.
Bagel. Yeah, good. Yep. What's your super move? Something about becoming like really big, right? I see a lot of Twitter pictures of really big ladies.
I was just gonna say like just summon a bunch of my alts and we just do like a tag attack like they do in either like Persona or the Mega Man Final Smash.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right,
Paul, I think
Keeper
you're-
Lantern. If you stack two lasagnas on top of each other, does it become one lasagna or is it still considered two?
If they look the exact same, one.
Sure, it's just a big
lasagna
lasagna.
is not defined by its depth.
That's true. Yep.
I feel like if they even looked different, it would still be one lasagna, and it's just like this half of the lasagna has this color cheese, and this other half has pesto in it or whatever. I think it's one lasagna. Like it is just a mess of wet pasta.
Yep. Read.
Because like, let's say you made it one lasagna. Like you went out making one lasagna, and you put a topping on it that's a drastically different color for whatever reason. Maybe the sauce. You're not going to say this is a separate lasagna.
Well, no, I'm talking about like literally like it's just another couple of layers of pasta and sauce. I'm assuming
Yeah.
it's the exact same thing we're putting on top, not literally just
Yeah.
a condiment or something.
I think technically, as
Yeah.
long as there's any lasagna noodles in it, it's a lasagna.
I think that's what I would consider. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's put this to the extreme. You have a regular lasagna.
Yeah.
Then you fill it with just like a foot cubed of, I don't know, sauce, and you put
Okay.
lasagna noodles on top
Oh,
of that.
Dude, I'm
That's a
pretty sure
lasagna, right?
I'm pretty sure Epic Mealtime has done something where they did like a lasagna with cheeseburgers in the middle and stuff. Like, yeah, I'm sure that's a thing.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, that's still a
Putting a separate-
lasagna. It doesn't matter. It's if you put
You think that's
burger-
still a lasagna?
Well, it's a fucking mess. Either way.
Because I don't.
That's
'cause
definitely a
there's-
Yeah.
mess.
It's,
It's
it's
really
true. It's
bad.
definitely a mess. I just feel like I couldn't look at that and be like, "Oh, lasagna." It would be like, "This is lasagna with a burger in it," which is fine. I'll eat both of these. I don't care. I'm not picky, but I'm not going to call this a lasagna.
No, I think if there's lasagna noodles and it's done in a way that's like layered, it's just a lasagna.
So then here's the question: what could you put in there? What is the furthest thing from lasagna that you could put in there where you would still look at it and say that's lasagna? You would still say to your mother in her eyes, "That's a lasagna."
I don't know. That's
How
a good
about
question.
okay, lettuce?
Sure.
You could still do lasagna?
Yeah, it's not one I would be stoked about eating, but
Yeah. John, would you still call that a lasagna?
No.
If it had lettuce in it, it is not as a lasagna.
Well, is it its own separate layer? Or are we mixing it in?
There's a layer of lettuce.
I mean, have you not had lasagnas before with a layer of spinach? It's not.
Oh yeah,
that
I've
much
had
different.
those. Yeah, but they're usually mixed in with other
Sure,
stuff.
yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's not its
right.
own layer.
This is a
Yeah,
distinct layer. There is a green layer in this lasagna.
Sure, I would count it.
Okay. How much weirder can we get where you wouldn't count? A layer of hard rice.
Man, that is a lot of starch. Holy
See,
shit.
yeah, if it's still food, then I feel like it still counts.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
But you wouldn't
too.
do it if it was a burger, right? There's no way you would agree to that. Am I the crazy one here for saying a burger shouldn't be in a lasagna?
It's only one, like, it's
Only
kind of
one
just,
burger, guys.
it's honestly kind of a technicality. You usually put ground beef in a lasagna.
Sure.
Yeah.
So is it the bread that's throwing it off?
I think it's the bread that throws it off.
So then here's a question. A layer of bread. Is it a lasagna?
Oh my god. No, it's a pizza at that point.
Oh, that would be so gross.
I don't think that's a pizza at that point. You have a lasagna, but there is a layer of bread in the middle. Is it lasagna?
I think
think
it
it still
is,
is.
but I don't think it's
Yeah.
edible. Like, I wouldn't eat it.
Okay,
though.
so you're saying the construction of a sandwich is making it. So here's a question for you.
If it was the opposite.
2 layers of bread, there's nothing in the middle.
Someone in chat
Is
says
it a
that's
lasagna?
just a casserole you're describing. A casserole or a cake.
Wait, 2 pieces of bread with nothing is it a lasagna? What are you talking about?
No.
I hate these
In the
discussions.
lasagna, so you
Absolutely
have
hate
lasagna
them.
stuff. You have a layer of bread, followed by another layer of bread. Lasagna. Is it all a lasagna?
I mean, okay, I'm going to make this really simple. I think if you have a layer at the bottom of lasagna noodles, and then basically fucking anything else and cheese on top, it's a lasagna. There has to be
There's
noodles in
no
there.
way.
There has to be lasagna
No way.
noodles in
I
there.
can't agree with that blanket statement. Do you realize what kind of food you're going to end up eating if you say that?
No,
Someone
I
could put a
never said
brick
I
in
would
there.
eat this food. I would say that I consider it a lasagna. An unedible
There's no way.
one.
There's no. I don't believe. What if it was a brick?
That's not
It's not
food.
a lasagna.
What are you talking
So it has to be
about?
a food.
I hate
Yes, it has to be food.
Okay, I'm just making. Well, you said anything.
No, I said any food. There has to be lasagna
He
noodles
did
and there has to
specify
be food.
He did
Okay,
specify
okay.
food.
You got your noodles.
Oh my god.
A block of ice.
John, this is stupid.
A block of ice.
Followed by cheese. You're gonna sit there.
Block of ice is gonna melt, Sean.
You're gonna.
You're putting it in the oven.
Oh, this is so gross. I'm never eating lasagna again.
All right, I'm gonna read this next one.
Please do.
Oh, this is a hard one. Rinku588. What's a lesson that's best learned the hard way?
Oh.
Don't trust Sean with cooking.
Yeah.
I can cook just fine. Don't even worry. Don't trust Paul with cooking, apparently. He'll call anything a lasagna.
Listen,
I don't have a great answer for this.
I don't either. I'm sure there's answers, but
Two wrongs don't make a right.
that's the answer. Yep, that's it.
There you go.
We got it.
And then, John, you want to read this last question?
Rasterman writes in and says, what two video game characters would make for the worst roommates one could ask for? I mean, rivals for starters, like Mario and Bowser,
Yeah.
Link and Ganondorf.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Bowser seems like a buddy sometimes. Like, he'll play Mario Party with him. And like,
I mean, he's a
go
dad.
go-karting. He is a dad. That's
I would
true. But
definitely-
Mario's an old man.
I would definitely rather not be with a roommate with Wario than Bowser.
Yeah. So, like, but like, Wario with like Princess Peach would probably suck, right?
Sure. I'm trying to see your reasoning
like-
behind why that pairing specifically.
Well, because like Wario is probably like a dirty slob, and Princess Peach is all nice.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you.
Because if it was just like Wario and Waluigi, it's like they're probably both fine.
Totally. Yeah.
Just being complete slobs, and like they don't clean up any Mountain Dew that gets spilled, whatever, or they Zamboni it off the floor, off of each other's stomachs.
Yeah. Exactly.
Who would be like a bad roommate for Kirby? Would be someone that's like against eating. Is there even someone like that? Maybe that's a bad example.
Kirby seems like a good roommate to everybody.
Kirby, yeah, Kirby's probably a good roommate.
He keeps emptying out the fridge, so that's the only downside.
That
Yeah.
would suck. So basically,
I was gonna say
anyone
a
who-
chef would be the worst thing to have, but actually might be the best since it's like you always have someone who's gonna like try your food.
Yeah.
like he'll cook for him. Yeah, so like Kirby and Swedish Chef from the Muppets.
There you go.
That'd be
The
pretty
Has
tag
good.
he
team you
been
never knew
in
we
a
needed.
video game yet?
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of Muppet video games.
With Swedish Chef though.
Yeah, Swedish Chef's been in a couple of them.
And now that I think about it, Swedish Chef is literally an Overcooked. So proud about that. All right, I don't have a great answer for this either.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
RE4.
Mario Party Superstars.
And mine is The Forgotten City. Things to look out for: our Cookie Clicker episode of TDP Plus went live last week. So if you haven't listened to that, you can. And if you are planning to watch Eternals, this Monday we will have a TVP episode all about Marvel's Eternals. So look forward to that. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.